Yes, we have Inferi today. In a furry. How about that? Jesus. Okay, fine. Inferi are a band from Nashville, Tennessee, and they've been chugging about in this tech melodic death metal circle for about a decade now, currently operating under the Artisan Era label. And let me tell you boys, this album, it's a fucking supercharged mechanical bloody battering ram. It's endlessly spastic, it's so unforgivingly technical and beyond the pale in terms of accessibility to the masses. Of course, the talent involved in the instrumental elements can be appreciated to some extent by all, but the sheer breakneck tempos which the instrumentation so often finds itself in, and especially the two different stylizations of the harsh vocals here, might make it difficult for Chainsmokers fans anyway. In terms of genre, this quite comfortably fits in technical death metal, but I would also argue it's reminiscent of some deathcore bands I've listened to, in particular Shadow of Intent, their last album, and maybe Hallelujah.
Yes, I know that's not how you fucking pronounce the band name. I can know that, mate.
With the incorporation of those vocals and the harder, faster compositional elements. But mostly to me, these guys feel like they are masters of their own sound and succeed in penning their own brand of it without so much as a hint of emulation. The technicality on this album cannot be understated. Everything from the inhumane blast beats and variable fills to the bass droning high in the mix to the two leads and their solos and the interchanging melodies. They are all discernible in the production, well oiled compositionally, and a bloody goldmine to unpack as well for how their stylistic embellishments and attention to detail can take several, if not thousands, of listens to digest. And even then, you know, it's still a fucking goldmine. It's endlessly fascinating. Now, the two lead guitars here, played respectively by Mike Lowe and, I love this guy's name, Malcolm Pugh, with a H. I just imagine a pug just playing the guitar in this album because of that reason, just with its little paws. But yes, these two lead guitarists here provide the bulk of the melodic weight of this album, and honestly, no description could do justice to the amount of whirling solos and licks that so often soar over the mix here. And when they do sacrifice the technicality for those melodic touches in the slower chugging climaxes, that's when I feel like the songwriting reaches its creative peak. And I get goosebumps racking my body all over. Why do I always get fucking hiccups during reviews? Why do I always get them? Now, that's not to say that the guitar work in the faster blast beat passages is anything less in quality to those showy motifs. They're endlessly immaculate, they're insane, the attention to detail, the complexity, the power, everything. It's all there in these leads, and it's near impossible to critique, especially technically. And whenever Joel Chevalier, the bassist, is given time to shine, like throughout Enraged and Drowning Solon, he shows just how effective he can be as a standalone tonal and almost melodic layer. It's hard to mention this song without also that breakdown towards the end with the throttling doubles and the wailing leads. It's just masterful. It's fucking beautiful. It's hair-tingling shit. It's a standout track for the song structure, the melodies, the climaxing output at the end, the breakdowns, the brevity. It's all there. But yes, the bassist is talented and thankfully contained within a mix and a style of songwriting which allows it to shine in any way a bass could, considering the sheer amount of instrumental layering there is on this album. Occasionally he's given a walking bass line to play around with, and occasionally you can really just draw your attention straight into what he's doing, but more than occasionally he is behind a wall of blast beats and guitar leads. The songwriting is dynamic in the sense that it alternates between time signatures and musical phrases at the literal flick of a pick, not to mention the detailing held in every musical passage here is unsurpassable. This is just such a rich album listening experience. Yet despite that richness and intricacy, like most technical death metal albums, I would have appreciated a few more ambient breaks, maybe an acoustic guitar here or there, a couple more walking bass lines, a shore line lapping in and out, a fucking, I don't know, something, right? Maybe some more standalone instrumentation without all of the really fast tempos and just a little bit of a break, just to smooth and crease out the kinks of this album in terms of listening to it all the way through. So it's about time I talked about Schneider's vocals as well. It's interesting because I genuinely enjoy them, yet I can't point to many reasons as to why I should. They could accurately be described as run-of-the-mill or familiar or generic, yet because they're so unashamedly dirty and harsh in both their inflections, they're more than tolerable for me. Of course, there's still room for improvement in that respect. I mean, one can only imagine what this album would sound like with some real undeniable vocal talent. But no, I don't really have any complaints about them. I really do enjoy these harsh styles when paired with this kind of harsh style of metal. It fits like a fucking glove in a hand, mate. The drumming with the production feels a little tinsel covered somehow, though. The kicks I noticed in particular, for me at least, feel flat, a little trebly, almost programmed sometimes. And I feel that the leads shared those aspects more than occasionally, the tone being very bright and crystalline and without that much personality. I wonder, for example, how this album would have sounded like if it had some dirtier, more jagged texturing, kind of like Frederick Nordstrom's-esque production on Still Life or something like that. So yeah, I'm honestly finding it hard to critique this album in many ways, just because the instrumental layering here for me is just, again, so rich. It's just so good. I just love this kind of metal. I love the detail. I just love the detail. I remember seeing in Italy some of Michelangelo's work, and not that this is like Michelangelo, but just the detail. I feel a parallel there. There's just so much detail here, and it's obviously not unparalleled. Like, Vector's Terminal Redux is fantastic. And yes, there are other albums I've already reviewed this year which definitely compare and in some ways surpass this album for sure. So this is not alone in this subgenre, but as a standalone piece of work, very hard to critique. I think it's superb. Honestly, I think it's just a lot of fun. The only sense in which it is a little one-dimensional, again, is as an album listening experience and just being this wall of sound sometimes, and that sort of inaccessibility, maybe not fitting your mood all the time, but when you are in the mood, it's pretty good. It's really good. So yeah, I'm just gonna finish this review up, and I'll just give this a 4.4 out of 5, boys. I really did enjoy this quite a lot. Yeah. Anyway, I'll catch you later. Just have fun, alright? Just have a good one. And take it easy. Yeah, no stresses, no worries. So I'll just catch you later, alright? Wow!